If quiet's a virtue, McCallsburg's your town.
Yeah, you can stand in the middle of Main Street and nobody's going to run over you.
But even towns this small
About 313.
need a cheerleader.
In my reign, I got natural gas in this city. I got cable TV in this city.
Theirs didn't choose to run for mayor when he hit retirement age. He was written in.
I guess I've got to do it. They put their confidence in me. I'll do my best to serve them.
Now, 22 years later, Wally Loney might be pushing 88.
Hi, Pam.
Hello.
But he's pulling the weight of a man half his age.
Hard for the town to run without him.
Somebody has to do it. And I enjoy doing it.
Every morning he cruises town checking for trouble at the water tower
This is an auxiliary pump.
and wrestling utility covers he wouldn't have to be.
That's what keeps me young.
A young 88.
Some days I feel like 108. Next day I might feel like a newborn, kicking and raising kingdom.
During summer, he's the city mower. After storms, he's on the cleanup crew.
And I enjoy every minute of it. I really do.
Morning, Wally.
Morning.
Whoever wrote in this great grandpa for mayor might have done it for a laugh.
If brains were dynamite, he couldn't blow his nose.
Something like that.
But the nearly 90-year-old who's not doing it for the money
They give me a cupcake every now and then.
is proving small-town pride doesn't expire with age.
Wally's probably the most caring, most concerned small-town mayor you could find.
In McCallsburg,
It's just a nice place to live.
Eric Hansen, News Channel 8, Iowa's news leader. To a 4-year-old,
4.5.
okay, 4.5-year-old, there's independence and speed
Because you can go faster.
in 2 wheels.
Just within the last month, he's taken his training wheels off, so he's been riding a lot.
And the cul-de-sac rule? A helmet every time.
So you don't fall off and bonk your head.
But this is helmet number 2. The first?
It broke.
How'd it break?
When the truck ran over me.
It happened Saturday in a neighbor's driveway.
As I turn around, I see a truck with no one that I can see driving, rolling back over, looked like about to roll over 3 boys.
Including Eli.
And I was screaming, stop, stop.
I saw the tire go up over his bike and saw him under the truck as well.
This went over my helmet and me.
There was a 2-year-old inside that must have somehow put it into gear.
It was scary.
The chin strap was still around his neck with a piece of helmet on it.
Shattered in so many pieces,
6, 7, 8.
police are convinced the tire crushed it.
We definitely feel like the helmet saved his life. For it to shatter like that, something had to have hit it, whether it was the wheel or something, and if it wouldn't have hit his helmet, it would have hit his head, and that could have been possibly fatal.
Eli has owies,
Right here on this spot.
plenty of them.
On my forehead and some on my face and
But after a little bike repair
kind of got old, but my neighbors fixed it.
and a hospital overnight, Eli came home, clipped on his backup.
You have to put a helmet on.
You do? Why?
Because so you don't fall off and hit your head.
And triggered tears of thankfulness.
I totally think it's a miracle, and it was God's protection over both him and our neighbors. That's what we were talking about last night with him, and it wasn't running, and
Jim Limke was just being neighborly.
He didn't just want to know if you want to use my phone.
The noon-hour knock came with a request for a drink.
I said, the kitchen's out there. I didn't follow him.
That elderly man
Only 83. Well, I'm just getting started.
had no idea it was the fugitive that had wrecked his car, triggered an elementary lockdown, and had officers swarming.
And at what point did you realize something was up?
When I seen all these fuzz,
Neighbors know Jim's feisty enough to name his cane,
I'd just pick up my equalizer, say, would you like to leave?
but they hadn't heard from him for a while.
We decided right that we better get a hold of him and make sure that somebody isn't, doing something bad to him.
Inside, Jim had 30-year-old Denny Hoffman at cane point
I spent a few years in the Army, so I know what hurts and what don't.
and waited.
I was sitting on my chair, and he was sitting on the one across from me. Not much of nothing, actually.
Until the army of reinforcements moved in, led by a riot shield.
Took him out of the chair and said, let's go.
Most folks who survive a living room encounter with a wanted man being led to a car in cuffs would have frayed nerves.
I would think he's all right, and that's what we was concerned about.
Jim could care less, instead using his old equalizer to hobble around in search of his cat, Bubble Butt, who had to be around here somewhere.
I guess I'm one of them crazy people that things don't really bother you. I'm too old, excuse me.
We can edit it.